Profits are better than wages, people. All right. But before we get started, let's do an introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are listening to the world famous Universal World, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxy. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just called the show Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about something very important. Ladies and gents, today we are going to talk about, should you try to get rich slow, or should you try to get rich in a hurry? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this right now. Okay, you want to try to create as much momentum as possible, and you want to create the momentum as quickly as possible. And the reason why you want to create momentum quickly as possible, and the reason why is because without momentum, people get down, people get in the dumps, people lose their confidence. It's like being an NFL quarterback, ladies and gents. There, everybody that makes it to the NFL, you know how think about any sport: soccer, football, basketball. Doesn't matter. Hockey does not matter. Any sport that you watch, ladies and gentlemen, one of the worst things that can happen to a player is losing their confidence. How do they lose their confidence? It could be a coach, it could be a game, it could be anything that can make them lose their confidence. When you have momentum, if you ever played a sport, you have momentum, ladies and gentlemen. I remember one time I was shooting basketball, and it was one of those days. Anything I shot could not miss. And I was okay at basketball. I wasn't gonna make it to the NBA, but I remember it was just one day we were shooting in the park. We were shooting at the basketball court, and I was just shooting, and I was just making them and making them and making them, and it was just like whoa. And no matter where I was, inside, outside, hook shot, running shot, set shot, 3-point, long range, damn near half court. I was making everything, and I was just like, whoa. I don't know what's going on right now, but the confidence was through the roof. The confidence was at an all-time high when it came to basketball. I was just like, feed me the ball, feed me the ball, feed me the ball, feed me the ball. And so it was momentum that just carried me through those games, and I was winning. I was winning every game, putting up points after point after point. And it was just confidence. It was the momentum. It was everything. And so you want to try to get on a plan where you know you want to get to where if you come out of the gate. It's Listen, for me, I'm a little different. Okay, uh, I've done a podcast for 3 years, and good God Almighty, and I've done a podcast for 3 years, and I knew that I was gonna have slow. I knew that I was gonna come out the gate slow because I've never done a podcast before. I'm talking about a subject that's not, people they need it, but they don't recognize that they need it, and that's marketing, and that's promoting yourself and creating something for yourself. And so I knew that that this burn for me was going to be slow because I'm just go a little too slow. But so I'm telling you to do. I am a hypocrite, and I am telling you to do the complete opposite of what I'm doing, because a lot of people, they get they do it. They'll do one episode. They'll do one podcast, two podcasts, and they expect, for some odd reason, without any fanfare, without any anything, they expect people to, like, a million people to watch their podcast. And it's like, but people don't know who you are, and that's okay. People are not going to know you. And so if you really want to gain some momentum, you want to get some momentum started, things you can do is, before you start the podcast, is you can start the marketing early. You can build a website. You can write media outlets. You can write bloggers. You can do You can do all kinds of things to get attention to you before you start your first podcast. And you want to get, you know, if you can get, there's only, you know, you know, there's a million podcasts. Some of them make money, a lot of them don't, and that's okay. But you can be one of the people that make money, and it's hard, but it ain't hard if you think about it, and if you focus on strategies, if you focus on, where could I put this? Who am I talking to? Who do I want for an audience? Where should I go? What magazine should I try to get in? What you know what other podcast should I try to get on so I can build a bigger audience? You want to start thinking about all of that stuff, and you want to gain as much momentum as you possibly can, because the more momentum you gain, the more confidence you have, and the more you are willing to do it. There's a lot of times, a lot of people, like I told you, man, if I don't get a million downloads, and you don't know them from apple butter, peanut butter, it don't matter. You don't know them, but they think, because I'm me, because we live in a society now where everybody's somebody, allegedly. Everybody's a somebody. Oh, my mom told me I have a great voice, or my friend told me I had a great voice. I think I should do podcasts. And every joker, every joker on the corner, every joker on the planet now, they have a podcast. And you see them all over. You see them on the Instagram and the YouTube. And it's cool and all that, but you could it doesn't matter how you sound. It doesn't matter where you record from. It don't None of that really matters at the end of the day. It's who do you have listening to the show? Who are you who who knows that you have a show? And in order for you to do that, you have to market. And when I say market, you want to do, it's this book that I read once about guerrilla marketing. And when you have something that you really want out there, and you really want to do it, and you really want it to work, you market everywhere. I don't give a damn if it's from the phone book to you standing out in front of a store somewhere giving people flyers. Say, hey, I got a show, I got a podcast. And don't treat it like, and the worst thing you can do is treat your podcast or your YouTube channel, treat it like it's just a hobby, treat it like it's trash, and you'll never get anywhere. You won't get anywhere. Take it serious. I mean, you have fun, of course. I ain't your daddy. I ain't here to tell you what to do. But I'm here to give you sound advice. Treat it seriously. Okay. You say, hey, I want to get this many people listening in this amount of time. Let's see what I can do. Let's see where I can go. How can I do this? How can I do that? Who do I want to sponsor the show? Who do I want to get sponsorship from? How do I get sponsors? How do I get people to put ads on my show? How do I get a bigger following so I can get more ads on the show? How can I build up my YouTube channel? How can I create content that people are going to watch? Because you want the eyeballs. The eyeball currency is the most important currency we have in America right now. Okay. Without eyeballs, nobody's going to watch you. It's fragmented. There's no such thing as, when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, they would be like, hey, here's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has a movie. And then he would go do the TV shows. He would do they might put him in a magazine. Like, hey, let's talk to, you know, let's see. I remember he did Days of Thunder. I was like 11, and they had cups at Hardee's from Days of Thunder. They had Taco Bell Days of Thunder. He was in the magazine. He was on this one, that one, this one, and that one. It was a lot of promotion. There was no internet. And so you just saw Tom Cruise everywhere in the summer for the movie Days of Thunder. And so now it's more fragmented. So you have to know, where's my audience at? Who is my audience? What do I want my audience to be? You break all that down, and then you say, now where do I get these people at? How do I get them? How do I reel them in? How do I PT Born on my way to the top? How do I big top it? How do I get there? How do you get there? And I'm telling you, you can write letters, you can send stuff in the mail, you can do all types of things. But as I told you the other day, I believe the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to be boring. You don't want to be boring in your marketing. You don't want to be boring on your show. You want to entertain. You want people to get something out of it, but you also want to entertain. You don't have to be Henny Youngman. You don't have to be Jerry Seinfeld. You don't have to be Richard Pryor. You don't have to be Cat Williams. You don't have to be just the master of ceremonies. The most. You know, I'm whipping jokes every 3 minutes. You don't have to do all that. But what you have to do is you have to be entertaining. You have to make a point. You have to say your point. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't be milk toast. Have an opinion and take it from there. Don't be bland. Don't be mashed potatoes and no gravy. That's a kiss. That's the kiss of death. And so you want to build the momentum. You want to gain the momentum. You want to get the momentum. You got to get out there. First thing you got to do, figure out what kind of content I want to create. Where do I want to go from here? Who do I want? What do I want? What's the goal? What's the message? What's the message I'm trying to drive home? What's the point of this? And get the momentum going. And if you have to go, be a great way to get more listeners is be a guest on other people's podcasts. Use other people's platform. They have a bigger platform than you. Go on their show, entertain the people, inform them, let them know where they can find you. Now, everybody that's listening to that in that audience is not going to come with you, but you can get enough people. And if you do that a few times, you do that plenty of times, you'll always be getting people, and always be putting stuff out there, whether it be blog posts, whether it be books, whether it be, checklists, whether it be posters, whether it be cartoons, whether it be videos, it don't matter. Always be putting stuff out there. People have a small attention span now. The more that you can tell people, hey, I'm here, hey, come over here, come over there, find me here, find me there, the better off you will be. And that's just the way it is. Okay, ladies and gents. So get the momentum started. Get the momentum started very quickly, and you will gain your confidence. You will have your confidence, and you will get down the road a lot better. And the reason why there's 2% of the people at the top and 98% people down looking up with the podcast microphones in their hand. It's because a lot of times, a lot of people they quit. They quit before they even know what they wanted. They quit before they know who they wanted to talk to. They don't do the research. They don't do the marketing. They don't do the necessary work. Okay? They don't do the necessary work. And so, ladies and gentlemen, do the work, do the research, do the marketing. Don't give up. Keep the momentum going, and everything's gonna work out. There will be bumps in the road, of course. Of course, I have to tell people that because a lot of times we have all this positivity, but from you and I both know people love negativity. They just don't admit it. Okay, this is why the news always starts off with negative news. 8 people got murdered today. People are like, ooh, I can't believe that happened. And then they started off with 8 people got scholarships, and they got full rides to college. People be like, what am I watching this for? I don't care if they had good news. People love bad news, ladies and gentlemen. So don't let them be like, have you heard? They tried to start a podcast and they sucked. Okay. Don't be those people, because people will take absolute joy in you sucking on your podcast. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and tell them I don't. And never mind. We'll say that for tomorrow. Okay, ladies and gents, we'll be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rosano. Thank you for listening. God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, as I told you before, share and share and share and share this podcast as much as possible. Share. Send it to all your friends. Send it to all your family. Good God Almighty, ladies and gentlemen, stop BSing around and share it with people. All right. we are climbing to the 2%. We are climbing into the 2% mountain, you know. It's not a lot at the top, but I'll as Zig Ziglar would say, I'm gonna see you there, okay? But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back tomorrow with our new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tom Marzano. God bless, and as always, everybody, peace.